G'day viewers and welcome to another Phil and Jen in the Philippines. As normal, can you hit the like button? Can you subscribe? Can you share? Can you do whatever you want to? And after the video, could you comment? The only way I get feedback is obviously if you comment, whether you like the video or the style or something that you want to know. I'm only too happy to answer those questions. Okay viewers, the subject of today's video is expats that have considered or have decided to relocate to the Philippines, and we'll talk about the Philippines even though these set of rules may assist you if you're going to Thailand or you're going to Vietnam or Malaysia or wherever it happens to be. You may be able to apply these things. They're only my suggestions, but I'll give you the norm as opposed to what I think you should be doing if you're going to set up in a country and you don't know too much about that country. You may have come out here to, say for instance, even Dumaguete, spent a week or two and whatever, think you know the lie of the land. You've now decided, hey, this is the place to be, and you've made the big step. You've spent your money, you've bought your ticket, you've got off the plane at Dumaguete Airport or Manila Airport or wherever it happens to be, and this is the first day of the rest of your life. The majority of people that actually come here make prior bookings into hotels they've either heard about or seen or found online, and they're booked for a couple of weeks. And what happens is they then have an address of where they're going to go, but they usually do it for a week or two. They book into these hotels. That's not a bad thing, but it's something that I wouldn't do for a number of reasons. The hotel may not be as explained on the brochure, or maybe in an area that you're not happy with. A million and one reasons as to why you shouldn't have booked for a 2 week period. So my suggestion is you book for a couple of days. You know, your first 2 days or first 2 nights in a foreign country is secure by going to a hotel you've already booked. You're not homeless. But what usually happens, and I've observed it lately, especially by way of having a friend over here, and I booked him into a hotel at Dumaguete for a couple of days, which has now turned into 3.5 weeks, and will probably continue to be another extra couple of weeks. Now my friend, as people know, is Christopher. He came out, his first trip to the Philippines, didn't know anything about the country. He's having a fabulous time, but Christopher does have the money to be able to have that fabulous time, whereas people that are coming to a country to stay usually are on a set budget, or even if they have a small nest egg, don't really want to blow it in the first couple of months. So my golden rules are, when I suggest to people what to do, book in for a couple of days. Then resist the temptation once you're in the hotel. As an example, Christopher is booked into the Honeycomb, which is on Rizal Boulevard. It's in, I suppose, the entertainment strip that's here in Dumaguete. It has a couple of clubs. It has a good environment. It is the epicenter of entertainment in the Dumaguete area. I won't go into that. That's not part of the vlog. And he's booked into that hotel. And of course, he was in, as we all do when we go to a different place, tourist mode. That's the only way I can describe it. Whereas, oh, let's have a look around, let's go to the bars, let's go to the restaurants, let's go to everything I can walk to, let's sit down and talk to people, let's talk to pretty girls, on and on it goes. We all know what tourist mode is. But the situation is this: he can afford to do that, and he can afford to do it till the day he dies, but a lot of us can't, as I said. A lot of us fall into the trap, and I'm talking about us, as in I came here fresh as a newborn bunny at one stage of the game, and I was a little bit more seasoned, so I didn't fall into the trap, but I have before in different countries. I tell everyone to book into somewhere they know for 2 days, and 2 days only. Now they can extend that stay. It's not as though they're going to throw you out in the street if they wish, or you go for 2 days. Resist the temptation, apart from going and getting something to eat, to go into full party mode, to go into the clubs, to go into the bars, to sit there like a barfly and just shoot the breeze with everyone that comes along. Resist that, because that type of unreal party tourist environment will extend longer than 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, a week, sometimes 2 weeks. You spend more money doing that. Simply, you think you're acclimatizing yourself to an area. That's not so. That's an unreal environment. That isn't going to be nothing like living in that country. And when 2 weeks goes by and a large chunk of your little nest egg, your startup nest egg, is gone because you've shouted the boys, you've got with the girls. You all know I don't have to explain what you'll be doing in this party mode. But then all of a sudden you're going to have to make up your mind, and you realise the 2 weeks you weren't asking the right questions. You were having a great time. You know, virtually no more than you did when you arrived when it comes to the day-to-day workings of living in a foreign country. So use the 2 days that I'm suggesting you book into. Go down, resist the temptation to get onto the pina coladas and have a fabulous time. Of course, you go looking around and whatever. Seek out locals that live here. You will, whether they be barflies or not. Anyone that's lived here over the normal 1 month or whatever, you will find them in these areas and use them as a source of information. Where are the best places in Dumaguete to live? Where do most of the expats go? Why? How much should I be paying for accommodation? This is the level of accommodation I want to have. What would you suggest? How can I hire a bike? Find out all the basics. That should be your key for the first 2 days. If you don't have anyone here to hold you by the hand and arrange all these things. You know, Mark Thornton, for instance, came here 5 or 6 years ago, limited money in his pocket. He had to find his way, but he was forced to through a lack of funds. And he went through his trials and tribulations. I just saw Mark on a live stream, and he says himself, you know, like from those very horrific first few days, first few weeks, his life's got better and better and better, and he did the right thing. What I'm suggesting to you is do the right thing. Don't cheat yourself. Don't bleed your small amount of money or even your large amount of money doing things that you can do at a later date once you're set up. You know, find out where you're hiring a bike. Find out find out if you can buy a car. Find out the good accommodation. You can get trapped into a situation, even just finding out where to find, you know, via, say, for instance, Marketplace. Get your SIM cards lined up, get your apps lined up. Find out things in those 2 days that you will need for survival over here in Dumaguete or in the Philippines or in Bangkok or whatever. Information in the first 2 days is priceless, first 3 days. Then act on it. You can always come back to the clubs. You can always come. They're not going anywhere, guys. Avoid the temptation of running amok and spending a small fortune that at a later time you realise, you know, you didn't have to spend that money. You know, like, what a fool I was. I committed myself to accommodation that's far too expensive. Tourist areas are designed to extract funds. You know, everywhere in the world, not just in Dumaguete, not just in the Philippines, everywhere in the world, if you stick to a tourist area, you're paying the most for accommodation, you're paying the most for drinks, I'm not telling you something you don't know. Resist it, okay? You're there to set yourself up. Do it as quickly as possible, and then, you know, find suitable relationships with mates or whatever it happens to be, and then go down and enjoy that environment and pay the right money. Anyway, it's just a quick video. It's just something I observed as far as my friends is concerned. It's now raining, which will probably affect the audio, so I'll sign off. Have a think about it, guys. Remember, subscribe, do all that type of thing, thumbs up, all that kind of crap. Suggestions. Look forward to hearing from you all. Phil and Jen, the Philippines. Cheers for now.